Hey, hey, how's it going, pirates? I'm so glad it's Wednesday. And here's my co-host with the most, Mr. Lord of Thane. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you
I'm
glad to
back
be
home
back?
and it's freezing cold, but
Yeah,
other than that, I'm good.
well, that's good. It's always good
You
to
should
have
have
the
told
nice
me.
weather.
You should have told me about that classy intro, and
Oh,
I would have taken Maria out of her shelf. And
oh, you actually have that
yeah,
character?
the Super 7 one.
Oh, cool. Oh
Yeah,
well, maybe another time then. I'll try to use that again at some point.
I
Actually,
have
that
a
the reason why I went with that is because we did the whole custom characters and stuff like that. So I figured, hey, he's making a custom figure, so why not use that as an intro?
cool. I love
And
it.
who do we have with us today?
Well, it's slowly picking up. First one after me, probably because we had some issues with putting the
Yeah,
stream up
sorry
on
about
YouTube.
that, guys.
But now
We
we're
figured
here and
it
we're
out.
on time. So
Exactly.
Starboy, hello, he was the first
Hey,
one.
hey, Starboy.
Then we have Jerry,
Hey, Jerry. Good to see you, man.
Adrian Forbes is here,
Oh, Mr. Devastation Station.
Better Ray Bob is
Oh,
here,
Beta Ray is here. What's up? Good to see you,
the
buddy.
and the lead will walk the earth just popped in. Oh,
Awesome.
and here's
This
Grumpy
hey,
Puppet as well.
hey, Grumpy. What's up? So good to see you. I'm sure there's gonna be more people trickling in. And yeah, it's just going to be an awesome show, guys. We have our awesome special guests. And you know what? Maybe we should just get right into that. What do you think? Should we
I
start off?
think Ian would appreciate it.
Yeah, let's get started. And here he is, the main man himself, Mr. Radtoyz Galaxy. Welcome to the show, my friend. Good to see
Hey,
you, man.
thanks for having me on. It's awesome to be on this side of the production rather than on that side for once. So this is going to be great. And fair,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
I did eat all the M&Ms in the green room, and I couldn't find the bathroom, so I might have had to pee in a plant. Just
Oh man,
I
I have
thought
to
there
go
was a
clean
funny
that up.
smell.
You know, I have to go clean that up, man.
I
Jeez.
looked, man. I looked, man. Maybe Bjorn can do it before the show next week. That's what it was. That'll be Bjorn's job.
Oh, you know what it was? I think it's because the bathroom is marked as either male, female, or whatever you might be. So maybe that's why you missed it.
I haven't quite figured out what I am yet. I don't know. I'm somewhere between like antelope and a dolphin or something. I don't know.
Well, it's good to have you on the show, man. Actually, you were the first person or the first show that actually started my whole online career, if you want to call it that. Was your show. Was the first live stream that I've been on, and then after that, it was Toy Domination, and then it just took off from there. So yeah, thank you very much for getting me started.
Oh man, no, it's great to. Then that was my whole goal when I started doing the lives and stuff like that. I just kind of want to bring like, get all the world builders together, give them a place, and it's nice now that you guys are doing a show as well, because
Hmm.
like we've got a place to be every night of the week pretty much. Like we got
Yep.
Tuesdays and Toy Domination, we got WMC and Toy Squad, and I'm doing a special presentation. It'll just be under Rad Toys
Yeah, I
Galaxy
saw that.
on Saturday. It's going to be the British invasion. We're going to have Lockdown Productions and the lead will walk the earth. So that's I'm pretty stoked for that show. It'll be like kind of going off the rails, going back to where I was before WMC. But Brian is from Outer Multiverse. He's going to be my co-host that night.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time, man.
Cool.
So you're kind of, even though we're doing the creators corner with you, you're kind of like our co-host today. So we're so glad to have you on. And actually, before we actually really dive into things, I believe Mr. Lord of Thane, you had something that you wanted to show us.
Yeah, as most of you know, I traveled back from Florida last week and or last weekend, and I had two things. I had last mail calls before I left Miami, and I had, of course, mail calls here while I was gone. And
Right.
one of the things that I definitely wanted to show off because um, it sort of completes it all is the last piece from my birthday challenge that came in
Oh,
from
nice.
my 3.75 addiction. So it came wrapped in these two boxes.
I still
And
don't know how to do the whole center screen thing.
oh, let me do it.
There you go.
Good like that.
There you go. I have to
Um,
figure that out. Those are cool.
So came in these crates, and it's this little. It's like an I don't know, like one of these Mexican death puppets or something, or like a
Oh,
statue.
cool.
And I really love it. And he's our winner. He was the
Nice.
one we choose as the winner. So these boxes, they also have lids. You can close them. So these are pretty cool as well.
I
And
think Marauder
each
Task Force has those. Those, at least they used to. At least that's what I think.
that's pretty possible. Either they're 3D printed or they could well be Marauders, yeah, from judging from the plastic. Um uh
Sorry, I didn't mean
so
to cut you off there.
no, all good. So he won, and he asked. Well, the prize, as you might remember, was me building a small diorama. So
Right.
what he asked for is like a dungeon prison kind of piece.
Right.
Maybe if he sees this, or I'll try to get in touch with him on Instagram. He could sort of detail that a little bit more.
Cool.
Because there's so much possibility there, and I don't know whether he
Yeah,
wants
that's
like a
kind of
prison cell or how big
kind
he
of
thinks the
vague.
thing is gonna be. Because I was thinking like maybe 30 by 30 centimeters or something, and some depth. So yeah,
Yeah, so
but
you'll
I've been
basically you'll
giving
just be making like a prison wall.
maybe like that. So I've been giving this quite some thought while I was gone on holiday. So now I can start building on it, but I'll have to get in touch with him. So
That's
that was
awesome.
basically all, because we should go over to you, Red, now. Anything else that I got, I might show off next week.
Well, for anybody in the chat, you can. I was gonna say I'm wearing this awesome T-shirt today.
Oh,
Oh.
cool. Thank you
Oh,
very
you
much,
know,
man.
when in Rome, it's actually one of my favorite shirts. It's so comfy. Oh, look at that! Nice.
I have to do something. Hold on. Do I look good now? This is part of my collection, part of my station.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've only got 2 entries for our T-shirt contest.
Yeah.
Where we've
Well,
got.
that's 3 now.
I'm gonna screenshot that and send it to you. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's awesome, man.
But yeah,
Cool.
between that and the Goblin Challenge that ends on my birthday on May 24th, we're gonna be giving away some more stuff. We had a big giveaway
That's
last
awesome.
weekend, so. Oh, and I want to thank you, Lord of Thane, for donating your prize back into the pool. That was really awesome, super
Yeah,
nice.
it was good of you, man.
I wouldn't have done it for the figure, but as most of the parts you already sent me in one or the other way, mostly through the
Yeah, and I'm just doing the inventory now. So I think I've got the Marauder. All the parts are there.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
I'm
like
so
the
excited
Marauder.
for that.
It's really good. So what I think I'll do is I'll print out a bunch more stuff and send all your Patreon stuff for the rest of the year with this shipment, and then it's a little more.
That's probably a good idea, because it's going to save quite some money.
So DM me if there's anything you want in particular. Like if you want more of those Dejeric benches, or like more boxes or beds.
Yeah. Well, I will DM you, but actually, I don't need like those big pieces. I'd rather have more boxes, crates, or maybe more doorways or stuff like that.
All right, yeah, sounds good, man. Well, if we can make that
More
happen.
crating, whatever.
Awesome.
Yes, Toybox Multiverse. I can't wait to see the Marauder either.
What? He got a Marauder too?
No, he can't wait to see it.
Oh, okay.
Either Red's or mine. So
I know. I
Famine,
want to
here
see that too.
we can start the show. Yeah, Famine, you're actually in time. Was just gibberish up to now, but now we're delving into
We're
Radtoyz.
diving right in. So
Yeah, we better clean up our act a little bit. Famine's here. We got to clean it up.
so as you guys know, if you guys don't follow Radtoyz, you guys better go and do that right now. But you actually host like 2 shows, right? It's like the Toy Squad on Mondays at 6 Eastern, and then you also have the WMC on Fridays at 8. And so, like, was that your creation, the Toy Squad?
Okay, so Toy Squad is kind of a show that Wenzilla and Eddie had before, like a long time ago or a while back. And so we just decided to kind of reboot it. And then Wenzilla kind of took his break from social media. So
Right.
we just kind of took over that show. But it's very much collaborative. Like what I've been doing, because I've got WMC to do every Friday. So what we're
Right.
doing is one of the guys is picking a theme. Like last week, we talked about budgeting and stuff like that for your collecting, and just you know how that show goes. But yeah, so we're doing that. So what my idea is, because well, I've discussed before, we're Pirates and I in August are going to go on a road trip down through the
Can't
state.
wait.
We're going to visit as many of the station people as we can. I'm going to put together probably by Christmas time. The trailer is going to come out soon. I've actually done a few interviews for it, but like I've done stuff like I interviewed a guy who was like, he's got to be, I don't know, 75 years old, who did
Oh
stuff
wow.
similar to Fatback Station. His dad built him those awesome dioramas when he was a kid. So this
Yeah.
guy's been world building since like 1977, since the original Star
Oh
Wars.
wow.
So I've got some like, and I'm trying to find like the photos he sent me are clearly like he took pictures off of a old Polaroid or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work with that, but it's amazing like now getting into this and doing the research for it, like how long world building has actually existed. Like in the 1970s, you would not go to work and be like, "Hey, other steel mill workers, I have a huge setup of toys in my basement. And I build little scenes." You would never do
Oh,
that.
I actually think this existed forever. I visited a castle and like a medieval castle last year with my family, and
Yeah.
in Italy, and they had like a whole floor of that castle where they had a collection of miniature castles and miniature
Oh wow.
houses that like the people in those times, like the noblemen and whatever, just had for fun and amusement and for play. Yeah.
I buy
Wow.
that for sure because I actually as I was researching, I got into Queen Victoria's collection. So she had an entire room in the castle. Yeah. That's not true. Change my mind. That's not.
Yeah. Who is that Empire guy anyway?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny because I got, and she had like, like she was rich, she was royalty, so she had a
Right.
beautiful like town and everything with dolls and carriages,
Yeah.
like the whole like 9 yards. Like it's been around. Like it's
Like
No,
when I went to Germany a few years ago in Steinen, the castle there had a miniature version of that castle that was
Exactly.
built from back in the day. I was like, "Holy cow, this is so awesome! I want this for my world building."
Exactly.
yeah, I always
I
wondered.
took
Oh, go
I
ahead.
actually sneaked in some figures in some of the like expositions they had there when they sort of were 1/18th. So I have some Grogu and some Mandalorians in some
Oh,
ancient
cool.
castle pictures somewhere in my
That's
feed.
awesome.
You have to scroll way back though. So yeah. Oh,
I have
Bjorn's
to go back
finally
and
here.
check that out. Oh, you're kind of late there, buddy. Guy was sleeping.
Maybe it didn't think there was
Unbelievable.
a show because somebody didn't schedule it.
Hey, I did schedule it initially, but then for whatever reason, I unlisted it. I don't know how I did that, but somehow I did that. So sorry, folks. At least we started on time. That's the most important thing. So, but
But
yeah, so that's just incredible that you started that, and then you went into the WMC, because even before it was WMC, it was just your channel, and you were just doing a weekly show. Did you have a specific date? I don't think so.
yeah, oh
Specific
no,
date.
I did off the bat. Like what got me into it, I gotta thank Dom over at Toy Domination. I was on one of his live streams. And then I like after it ended, I was like, "Oh man, I can't just sit here and wait for him to invite me again. I got to start something of my own." So how kind of happened is at the beginning, I just yeah, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
actually, Famine, that was one of the projects I started with my kids when they were heavily into Playmobil. We built our house like in 1 to Playmobil scale, which is almost 1/18.
Oh,
So my
nice.
daughter still has it as a dollhouse. It's just a 1-to-1 copy of our house.
That's cool, man.
Doesn't need a lot of money, just a lot of foam board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Getting back like how everything kind of got going there. So yeah, I basically just started off, and I can't remember who my first guest was, but I had like uh, some of
You
them are in
think who
the
your
chat right
first
now. I
guest
should know a
was?
little better, but I had like Starboy on, and you know,
Electric Blue.
Electric Blue was on there before, and then just through like I don't know all this stuff. I guess Wentzilla saw what I was doing, and we kind of got chatting. So I invited him in. The very first show was a like weird, wacky show where we were doing bootleg toys and making fun of like these ridiculous.
I remember that. That was hilarious.
I brought him in with a couple other guys, and kind of and if they watch this, they'll understand. But the guys that I started trying to get into it were the guys that were all like, "Oh, let's do this. We got to do live streams." So it kind of went there, and then it was the next week, and they weren't available, and the next week they're not
Right.
available. So I kind of just took off running, and then Wenzel and I had the idea to start up the World Makers Consortium, which we argued about the name of it.
It's because he could never say consortium.
Yeah, Josh had to look up what consortium meant. So yeah, we just went from there, and yeah, I guess the rest is history. And really, just our goal is to just talk world building, bring people together. We're gonna branch out into like 112 world building a little bit as we have in the past, but you know, everything's got to evolve and change, right? And it's great. It's awesome to see all you guys coming up and doing new channels and stuff like that, and new shows. Like,
and we're all about the world building, but mainly about what projects we have going. And
and also one of the ideas behind our show was like we sort of wanted to fill the one gap we kind of saw in WMC. Like you always show the crazy and creative and awesome world building, but it's like always a fly through. Like we actually playing with you now, but nevertheless, I sometimes I just wish you would stop at like this one particular piece, and then the person would explain what they actually did, like what it's from, what techniques they used, what material they used.
That's kind of what we're about,
So and it is difficult. Like when we're streaming, like we can stop people and be like, "Hey, what's this or what's that?" But sometimes we're limited due to connections where we're showing slides or you know, and you don't get that full effect of what's going on. But okay, Famine.
But
we'll see you next Friday, buddy, when we got the jokes classified.
But speaking about world building, actually, I wanted to touch on your. Wanted to jump onto your page, so we could take a look at one of your more recent videos, because you took us on a tour in that video of your galaxy. Actually, what is the name of your galaxy? Or does it have a name?
So it is Radtoyz Galaxy. That is my whole entire world.
Oh, that's pretty self-explanatory, actually.
Yeah, I guess so.
To think about it.
When we watch this video, you'll see that I've given each area like a title. Like it's like, here's the planet Duxon. This is where the Mandalorian Consortium is, and here's Andara Station, and that would be like the main station. And then I give things like it's like, you know, whatever outpost on Endor, or this is Nar Shaddaa, and this is what this place is called, like Docking Bay 420, I think I called it in the video. So.
Well, let's find out. So with that said, let's go and check that out.
Everybody, fingers crossed.
Here we go. So this is actually the first part here. Let me just pull that up 1 second. Can you guys see that?
I can see it, yep.
Awesome. So this is the Sith Empire on Korriban. So if you guys don't know that, go check out Star Wars lore.
To give everybody a little bit of background that maybe hasn't heard me talk about it. So the whole premise of my galaxy is that because Ahsoka was messing around with the world between worlds,
right,
cause all the timelines to merge together. And that allows me to make up stories on the fly. Like, why is Revan here talking to Obi-Wan? Oh, well, you see, you did this. And it allows me a lot of freedom to like up the stories. And I don't try, like, I'll never remember everything I make up. Like that's
hey, at least you have it on video, right? So you can always go back and do your own research on your own galaxy. But anyways, let's get this started.
This plays better than I thought it would.
Yeah, we don't need that audio.
Yeah, I'll just mute that.
I think somebody just muted it.
There we go. So yeah, this is amazing. Like, I know before you actually just recently renovated your galaxy, because I guess with the 3D printing and that sort of thing, you figured, hey, let me just enhance what I already started to make, and this actually looks incredible. Like the level of detail now.
And the depth and sheer size, like this is no moon. It's like always what
exactly.
Plays in my look at the size of that thing, and now I've seen like I don't know, probably 3 hours of footage of your stuff, and with your GI Joe setup that you just posted, you know, where's that? How? Why? How? Where did he put that now? Just...
yeah, spaces are getting to be a premium here.
I don't know how you don't like end up knocking stuff down all the time, because it looks like it's really tight in there, but it looks like also it's so vast. That's
It is
incredible.
it's patience, man, and then not wearing a long sleeve shirt while you're setting up figures.
Yeah, that's definitely important because I can't tell you how many times I've knocked stuff down. I don't even have anywhere close to as many figures set up in a one particular scene.
Well, and you'll see in the background there, I have an issue where I need to save all the boxes for all my toys. So you'll see them like stuck in little crevices everywhere around my setups in the basement.
Right. Oh my goodness, TIE interceptors. I love those ships.
Oh, dude, yeah, they're expensive to get, dude.
Yep. That's why I don't have any. The
So
only
I
one, the closest I have to that is the TIE silencer. That's the Kylo Ren one. I only have one of those. So
Yeah, and then so you saw all those stormtroopers. I went to a
Yep.
warehouse sale and just bought 50 more Saga
nice.
Collection stormtroopers. So I've got to like figure out where the other 50 are going.
Wow. But this is incredible. Like this, the how deep it is to begin with. The lighting is awesome. I think did you recently redo all your lighting too, or is that just?
I did redo a lot of it, but some of it just works. Like I randomly set up lights. I'm like, hey, that's cool because that looks neat. It's like a Sith
Yeah.
event, right? And the guy's like kind of training everybody and getting everybody going. But that's the villain from the one Star Trek movie. There, I use him, and that's what's his face from the Marvel movies. Oh my God, Samuel L. Jackson at the end. There.
Oh, okay.
It's the Nick Fury head with the eye patch. So I just
Yep.
put it on a Darth Vader body.
Oh, cool.
Worked out.
So Fat Red Food just wants to know if those rare TIE interceptors are all originals or if some of them are 3D printed. As far as I could judge, they were all original.
Yeah, they're all original. You can tell 3D print. So we're getting into I
This,
printed.
yeah, that's a 3D printed ship, right? The Sentinel.
Yeah, the Sentinel class. So I did one for Lord of Thane.
Yes, that's still in the box. It arrived just before I left for Florida, so I have a lot of puzzling to do.
Oh yeah, so that one I kind of had to monkey around because I only had the small printers at the time, like the one I had there. I printed the cockpit really big and left the other parts small. Where Lord of Thane
actually looks really big. Like
Lord of Thane is going to look way more in proportion than that one does.
Okay.
Sometimes
it looks amazing.
Sometimes you got to just roll with the punches. Oh, so see that word there went Zilla? It's Consortium. So Mandalorians are my jam. Like I love Mandalorians. They're like
they're
even
definitely among my favorites.
You'll see my
I heard those rumors to Timbo Toys. He says he heard rumors that you were printing a whole extra room for your house.
But you'll see, I think at one point you get to see my avatar, and he's a Mandalorian Jedi. So I just had to mash the two most awesome things I could think about.
When you see him, point him out.
Definitely, I love that setup. They're getting ready.
I love that. I love the color scheme on that LAAT. This looks so cool. Awesome. The black and red.
And that's just a Fisher Price parking garage that I just kind of weathered.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. And those are all the Star Wars novels I'll never read in the background.
I love stuff only like real novels. That's so cool.
Yeah.
If you reuse a toy, just
if you caught that purple Mandalorian that's supposed to be Omega as an adult.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
And she's Boba Fett's sister, so she's hooked up with Boba Fett.
Awesome armor, yeah.
And then
those are those depot things, right? From Joy Toy?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just working away. And that's that 3D. That's what got me into 3D printing hardcore was that.
I remember that because I remember your friend printed that for you.
Yeah, so I didn't print that. My buddy printed it and he complained the whole time. And I was like, it's whatever. I'll give you like whatever to do, and I gotta have it. And I saw it. When I got this home and built it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Timbo. Like, I'm not gonna read those, but I have like done the book on tape thing for 90% of them. Right. So I'm definitely well versed in my Star Wars lore for sure. Or I've watched those YouTube videos where people break it down for you.
Yeah.
Story kind of thing.
I have Wikipedia in my bookmarks.
I read a lot of Star Wars novels when I was younger, but just now, where do you find the time?
I just don't have the time. So now I actually get to a lot of the Audible stuff.
Look at Famine, the old bully.
True.
Oh yeah. So that's the forge for the Mandalorian armor there.
Nice.
But these are all like I've printed a ton of helmets, and they're mostly like Boba Fett's and Jango Fett's that I've repainted.
Right. But this,
But yeah,
oh
this is
man,
those are
so
the
cool.
badass guys that kind of just hang out. And I love that cowboy Mandalorian guy with the trench coat. He's like one of
Yeah.
this is my avatar here. So this is my avatar, my dog, and my big droid. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
so
swear
cool,
to you,
man.
about half of your views are from me because I watch your videos over and over and over again. They're
Yep.
so
oh,
is it-
Like this video I probably watched at least 4 times already. Just because I'm like I keep getting ideas like, oh, that's a cool idea. I want to copy that. Like I like the Jedi Academy. That's so
yeah, I
cool.
get ideas like, how do I get rid of my kids? Why does my wife need her own office room?
yeah,
So like,
no doubt. I'm just fortunate that after my basement, like my toys were upstairs, but after my basement flooded, I found
Right.
out I wasn't covered for groundwater, only broken pipes, so I had to gut it. And
Right.
then I was like, I'm just moving my toys down here, man. That's why you
And
see a lot
you
of like utility stuff in the background.
and you used to be a contractor, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
nice. Built up all the things you needed for yourself.
Oh yeah. Exactly. There's
But
three.
this this is huge because like just look at this the sheer scale of this because the fact that you have ships like and these aren't
they-
small ships, these are decent sized ships.
and they just get
And
lost in the sheer size of it.
exactly, just because it's
That's
so much and so it's so deep. Like look at that, man. It's just incredible. I love it. And then
Oh,
now we're to the Republic outpost. So this is
It's
the Endor
a lot
one.
of people love this one. A lot of people love and this is all like wood from like deadfall from outside and like just
Right.
different scraps of wood that I picked up. Some old shingles.
Yeah, because this is I think the only part where you actually have like natural stuff in there too, like organic things
Yeah.
within the playset. Just looks really cool. The lighting's just amazing in this.
Yeah, I got some really cool lights off Amazon that you can kind of move around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like, I've got to try and work on that where it catches my shadow sometimes. But it's hard to do when you have so many setups with so many lights everywhere.
Yeah. Especially when you want it, you want to actually really illuminate it properly so everyone can see it clearly when you're recording. It's kind of hard when you have the light behind you.
yeah, you were right, Red. People seem to like this part.
Yeah, and I love it too. I think it's great. Like some of it's like old cedar rails and like a bunch of fake plants like my wife will grab when she goes to the dollar store.
Nice.
Those are all 3D printed like food items.
This is incredible, man.
And those wooden walls are all 3D printed too.
Those are okay. I thought those were real pieces of wood that you actually did the work and like cut it and everything. But
No, it's
no,
like part of a
3D printed.
Viking village file or something that I found.
That's
Oh,
real
and
wood, though, right?
I got a lot of like that looks like wooden bridges or wooden walls pieces from like the pet store for
Yep.
when you have a hamster.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
so and they're like, I don't know, $1 for a 60 centimeter long bridge made from real wood pieces. So it's pretty nice.
So this is the Republic HQ, and Plexus is a real Star Wars planet.
Yeah, I thought I remember reading about that someplace. I just couldn't remember where I read that. I can't look how many LAATs you have, man. That's crazy.
That's for my buddy on the hunt. He was down this weekend too after I went hunting, and he was like, "Oh my god, you found this, you found that," kind of thing. And but no, he's selling me like he's stripping those gun parts for the missiles and stuff.
Right.
He's one of those like freako completist guys that has to have everything.
Right.
It's yeah, and everything absolutely complete. But I'm just like I don't even care. But the missiles look dumb in some of them. I think.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think it really works well.
Yeah, I
with
want them to look like actual cannons and stuff, not a cannon with a little red round thing sticking out the end.
I know I hate that. I
So then-
never liked that.
For once, there's a serious question in the chat for you, Red, there, not just gibbery.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't lose them permanently, but if I know I have multiples, my friend on the hunt will come over and I'll be like, "Oh, I have like 6 of those in my setup," and we'll go looking for them.
Right.
So I can give them one or sell them one or do whatever, right? But no, definitely it's hard to keep track of where. Like I know where, like, okay, this is the Rebel area, this is the Ewok area.
Right.
Yeah, it's you can never find something when you're looking for it.
Exactly. But I love the setup. I love
by
the
the way, I
bunk
love
beds
these.
and all that stuff.
I love these where the pilots just were.
Yeah, I love that.
That's
It's
just a table flipped upside down.
Yeah,
Nice.
but the texture of it and the light, it just looks so awesome.
Yep. And I love the fact that you made your floors glass floors so the light can go through and shine down on the hanger down below and stuff like that. Like, this is
Well,
just so awesome.
that was the idea too. So you can look down and you can see your other setups. Where if you stack boards on top of each other, you
Yeah,
gotta
you wouldn't see anything.
crouch down and see what's going on. But this would be
I
like,
love that conference room.
yeah, this is like the main Jedi. So Luke is like obviously with his wife Mara Jade at the head of the table.
I
At the top.
actually, when I got that Mara Jade, I actually had to do something about that hair. It was just old 90s big
Oh,
hair.
it's
I had to change that.
yeah, looks like a Motley Crue
Yeah.
music video or something.
This is just incredible. Again, just I'm always just in awe with how deep the setup is.
Is that actual glass or acrylic glass?
No, it's
For the people.
glass.
Oh,
Definitely
it's
glass.
actual glass.
That's tempered glass, right? Because I would imagine
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's kind of thick. So yeah, this is just
So this is my
amazing.
tribute to Edelham Station that used to exist. This is the Edelham Arena of Sport, which is
That's
kind of
right, man.
it's a goofy play on that old GI Joe episode where he called
Oh
his
yeah.
the Arena of Sport.
So yeah, speaking of those arenas and stuff, eventually I'm hoping by the end of this year to bring back Titans of the Universe. I still
Oh,
want to
nice.
do that, so
So
that
this
way
is
people can make their characters.
just real. This is when Zilla made that for me. So that's the beer delivery crew, and they were actually in that scene like someone was trying to jack them. So
Nice.
I got the Zilla
Zilla
can,
Fuel.
Awesome.
and this is just that's those vitamin water bottles and like an old propane tank. You'll have to check out the video, but that's one of that big crane is like one of the favorite things I've ever made. That was before I had a
That
3D.
was really cool. Yeah.
That was before I had a 3D printer, so that was.
What
So
was
like
did
that
you?
crane
I
made
was
from?
always interested, Red, because I actually I bought some 8080 legs and I have this old fire truck. Because before I even saw yours, I saw the crane in the Mandalorian season, like where he drops
Yeah.
the.
totally.
Was yours inspired by that as well, or did you do yours before that even?
Oh no! That was totally inspired by that, and then
Oh, okay.
my top is the Indiana Jones 1/18th line. It's the digging machine from the Crystal
Ah,
Skull. So
Right.
I
cool.
just turned it backwards and flipped everything in the cab around, and then
Nice.
just added hoses and greebles. And the crane part is actually from my son's fire truck that he never played with.
Okay, I knew I
Yeah,
remember hearing
yeah,
you
I
talk
have that.
about that before.
And then
Because I'm gonna.
the chain that hangs down is one of those chains when you buy a new wallet. Sometimes they come with a chain if you want to look
Right.
like a truck
Uh-huh.
driver or a skateboarder.
Or a
Oh, it's
hipster,
cool.
yeah.
That's a
I
good
stopped
idea.
it here because this ship was one of the first ships that I saw that
love
I'm
it.
like, oh, I have to make that. I never ended up making it because I came up with a different design for one now using the Buzz Lightyear truck. But this has always been one of my favorite of your customs is that
So
ship.
is it
That's
intended to be like a cargo handler or something in space, or is it like a submarine? Because it could well be.
it's a cargo handler. It just kind of
Yeah,
moves around the station in Nar Shaddaa, and it's like it'll drop this off, move that, do whatever.
I love it.
It's so awesome. And like
And
that's
that,
the thing too, your paint works is actually really awesome on a lot of these customs, like the weathering and everything. So I actually didn't know you were that into painting as well.
yeah, I don't know. I prefer doing vehicles, like that's my jam. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I just don't. I'm so busy building my world and focusing on things that I don't really flaunt the painting thing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if
I can't
somebody,
imagine that. Look at this
yeah,
world, man. It's incredible
I love this.
how vast
This is
it
one of my
is.
favorites. This is one of my new bars that I've installed in the Nar Shaddaa docking bay.
Nice.
There's that guy from Pirates of the Caribbean out front there.
Very cool.
Blackbeard, I think it is. I think it's Blackbeard.
Yeah.
So then those are dollar store signs, and I did a bad job because I used a marker, but that says repair in Arabic.
So those are those battery operated lights where you just put in AAA batteries inside
Oh
there.
no, they're plugins, man. You go to the
Oh,
dollar store
okay.
has them right now, and they're like $4.50, but they're
Right.
just light bars. You'll see a couple of them floating around in the station, but they're
That's
handy.
Nice.
Yeah, you can, and they just look like those vertical lights from like different sci-fi movies.
there's
That is so
another
cool.
pretty interesting question right here. is your setup on power switches, or do you have to go around and turn things on? And like, how
No,
long would that
so
take?
everything is centrally into one power bar. So when I leave for the day, I can hit 2 or 3 power bars and turn them all off,
Cool.
and then it shuts the whole setup down.
Yeah, if not, you'd be there all night trying to turn them on and off.
And that spinning thing, that's just one of those cheap cake rotisserie things, your muffin rotisseries you can get off Amazon.
And there's the Ebon Hawk. That thing's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I definitely swing back around to that. That was one of the highlights after getting that big printer. I just like, I have to do this now.
That ship is just, and you did an awesome job with the weathering on that ship too.
Oh yeah, well, and it's something like I love the like Knights. The Old Republic is my favorite era of Star Wars.
Same.
So I feel when I get into something and I'm working on it, if I really have a passion for that particular item or whatever, then I do a lot better job on it. Where some things, it's like that table, I'm like, I'm just gonna slap black paint on the top of it.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
Yeah, I mean, like just get it into the setup.
But this, I think the Jedi Temple is my favorite of your areas. This one, and then also that
I don't know.
where
Your
you have
area
movie
isn't my
theater.
favorite of your areas. This is everything is just so good.
Yeah, that's true. There's like, every sections is awesome. And I love how you've redone everything.
And well, and a lot of the stuff I
how you
do, like that's a Padme figure, but I never thought she looked like Padme, so I just made her a Jedi.
See,
But
yeah,
like,
my Padme I repainted to make her look kind of like the same colors as Han Solo's outfit, and gave her a vest and all that stuff, and just made a new character. I mean, because she never looked like Padme.
so that's that rotisserie I was talking about. So yeah, that's my satellite dish to spin.
Oh, I thought that was a fan.
No, I did have a fan, but it broke. I had a turret on it, and it was
That's what it was. I remember there was you had something that was oscillating. I couldn't remember what it was.
So
So it
I
was
printed
that turret.
yeah, I printed the archive tables, and I got to diffuse the light a little better behind the archives there, so you don't see all the dots.
Yeah.
But then I just found like I sometimes just goofing around on Thingiverse, you find interesting prints, and you're just like, oh, that's a wall. I need a wall for whatever, so
Right.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, these are pretty neat.
There
Those
it
walls,
is.
actually. Like,
There,
This
yeah,
ship is
yeah,
so awesome.
and when I just saw it, like I don't know, the books from the library and one or two of those tables do look pretty nice. Well,
Yep. This like that ship is just so cool.
yeah, and I like you look at the scale of it, and I could have went bigger, and I was like, no friggin' way, man, this is insane. That's the biggest.
That's already huge as is, man.
Yeah. So I had to have Revan with his droids there, and there's obviously a bunch of. Then that thing, man, I don't know. I'm not horribly interested in it, but I wanted it, so I just gonna shove it wherever like I can because it's so huge.
Because I'm going to be using. I want to get more of those because I want to use them as my station's passenger ships.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So I have one, but I want to get another one so I could repaint it and add like my space station's air, I guess travel tour type of logos and stuff like that on it. But I didn't want to repaint the one that I have now because it's the only one I got.
So I completely blocked off my Voltron collection that was in that cabinet with Star Wars stuff, so you can't see it anymore. Well, I actually want to bring some of the smaller Voltron stuff into my world, maybe in some capacity. We'll see.
Right. So this is one of the worlds that you made up because I don't remember seeing that world in.
Oh no, I think it said Tatooine, didn't it?
yeah, it said Tatooine.
But
Yeah,
what did it? It said something above Tatooine though.
Oh, it's a city I made up. I think it's called like Radville or something like weird.
Oh,
like
okay.
named it after myself.
It said Mos Rado in the video.
Yeah, Mos Rado. That's what it was.
Yes. Okay.
Mos
That's
Rado.
what I was wondering. Is that what someplace you made up? That because I saw that. I'm like, I don't ever remember seeing that place in Star Wars.
And those the snake lizard men there are actually Masters of the Universe 3D print heads that I just shrunk down to fit right on the Buzz Lightyear bodies.
Nice. And those did you actually put sand? Is that actual sand or?
Oh no, it's just textured. Like I would like I spray it with glue and then I drop sand and stuff all over it and then let it dry out in the sun, and then I'll do like little scuffs here and there with like a lighter color of sand.
Right.
Sort of.
Yeah, I see you like AT-ATs as well. You have quite a few of those.
So that one there, this is like my very first video on YouTube was that Jawa AT-AT.
I remember that, yeah.
So it's like super old, but this is just kind of a little like gathering hub. They're doing some trading out like that would be like the edge of the desert before you
Nice.
get into the town. But yeah, the
So you
job was
guys, you wouldn't get this just by watching his video. You're actually getting the live explanation as to what went into this world. And that's kind of what we're looking for with our live streams.
I
Is
know, and
this
I was
sort
just
of
thinking
thing.
that I was like, it's actually nice to sit here and like, oh, this is that or that's that, and like check this
Because
shit
that's
out.
the thing too. It's like it's awesome to see all these, but we also love to hear like what you're thinking when you're creating these things. Because I know with me when I'm creating my figures, I have like the whole story going on in my head as I'm customizing and stuff like that. Is this what goes on when you're putting your world together? Are you like imagining like different scenarios in those particular areas as you're building them?
I sort of am, but I kind of fly by the seat of my pants a bit, where I'm like, I want to do this, and I have this stuff, so
Right,
I'll clear an area, and I just start putting things down, and like it probably moves around 8 million times, but
right.
sometimes I have a plan sometimes, and sometimes I'm just feeling weird, and I just go off on a tangent.
But even when you're going off on a tangent, when you start doing it, do you get into the whole story you're creating as you're doing it?
Oh yeah, like especially with like the Jedi Temple, I'm like, all right, yeah, no. So Revan's got like a new apprentice, and this is where the Ebon Hawk's gonna land. And the reason he's at the Jedi Temple is he's gonna be going into like the far reaches of space to make contact with a Jedi
Oh
Order that
yeah.
was lost
How
after the Civil War.
how deep is this? Like what we're just seeing on screen, because this is so like I have a feeling this is like 2 meters or something from where the
Oh
very
yeah,
first landing platform is to all the way back in there in that bar. Like
easily,
how
yeah. There's a lot of places that are at least 2 meters deep.
incredible.
But you do have to start at the wall, and I've got like a grabby claw for setting up figures and moving them from the back. Like it
Uh-huh.
starts at the wall, and I just kind of move out from the wall, and then I'll add like a jutting, spaceport landing bay, or like it's very yeah. This is
So
one of my
for
favorite. This is the
sorry, I mean
this
to interrupt you there, but for
oh
for our American brethrens, 2 meters is about a little over 6 feet. Just so you guys understand how deep that is. It's a little over 6 feet.
Incredible. Just
Just
a little in
amazing.
my shoes. About multiverse.
Just so this is just so crazy.
So I do have an issue with like spider webs sometimes, and I forget to clean them up. But I honestly leave some. One guy commented, he's like, "That's gross," and I was like, "But I
Like
do, I do leave the spider webs in spots on purpose because I feel it creates like an atmosphere."
yeah,
And
especially if
like,
it's like an older building, right?
yeah, yeah, or the Ewok thing, you'll see a lot of cobwebs there, and I just leave them.
Yeah,
So
because it's a natural
but
type of
this is
organic thing. This is the other part that I love is
yeah.
this movie theater.
So yeah, I'm gonna sweep down here again, I think, and check out the sign and everything. But yeah, I
That's
do.
a
I
nice
like to
little
do that.
city.
I like to put my shout outs for the other stations and stuff like that
Yeah,
on.
that's
Yeah,
your
there's
spaceport, is
Aegis.
it? Where
Yeah.
they all destination to the other stations. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to do so. I kind of have a little like nowhere as big or as deep as that, but I'm kind of building my own little miniature starport with
Well,
the ships gonna land.
everybody's got their jam, right? And I'm not like I would never claim to be the grandfather of anything, but like I've been world building for probably quite a few years, but I only
Yeah.
decided to start sharing it like maybe 3 years ago now.
Oh
After
wow.
I finally like I saw Empire Toy Works years ago, and
Hmm.
I saw him doing it, but then I started kind of getting into it and posting here and there, and then realizing that there was way more people, and I was like, "Well, fuck! I've been hiding in a hole for like 10 years here, like doing my own thing." And I was very much like I've swung over to world building way more now, but I
Right.
was very much the traditional collector where I would have all the vintage in a case and like do
Yeah,
that. I
I've
got
never been able to do that.
yeah, I just got sick of it. I was like, I want to play with my toys. I want to build worlds. I want to do this. I want to do that. So
Yep.
yeah, a lot of vintage toys went up for sale to fund what I've got going on.
Here it is. I love this spot, man. This is
Oh,
so
they're
cool.
watching the movie theater there, and it's Robot Chicken playing on the Robot
That's so
Chicken Star
cool.
Wars. Yeah,
It reminds me of those VIP movie theaters where there's like a bar and all that kind of stuff there.
and like all these signs have shout outs. Like these are things I like. That Power of Grayskull.
Yep.
I worked with that producer on Action Figure Adventure, like the show I
Nice.
was on, and then you'll see an ad for Action Figure Adventure as well. And that's actually, that green thing is the cover off my electrical box in the basement. I needed a platform. So I
Right.
just unscrewed it and took it off. Like the door, not the main panel, so the wires aren't exposed, but it's just it's a door off my electrical panel in the basement. So
Nice. So cool, man. And this is probably like one of your older parts of your Galaxy, right? Because I think I remember seeing this a while back. Like I'm sure you changed it around.
this building is the bane of my existence. I just got into this, built this thing in the garage. I was like, yeah, I got a building, but I can never seem to find a great place for it. Like now it's just sitting on the floor, like out in front of like my
Mhm.
setup. Like it's there. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm even gonna do with this thing.
Seems to work where it is. So
Yeah, no, it ain't broke. So this is Fallout World. So
nice.
those are Gundam bodies with 3D printed power armor heads.
Hmm.
And then I
Well,
just
now
made
now you can get those figures from what's his name? Uh,
Morphonauts.
yes,
oh
Morphonauts.
yeah, Morphonauts.
His
No,
those look amazing.
I'll just make my own for now, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can just make your own. I keep forgetting
I
you have
love
3D printers.
I love that door piece there, or that vault-looking door.
Remind me in a message, and I'll send you a little vault door setup, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I want the vault door.
You can have one too. Everyone can have a vault door.
Vault door for you. Vault door for you. Everyone gets a vault door.
You're getting Vault 69 though.
So that's just awesome, man.
I
Like,
wonder
this
what
is
experiment
incredible.
they had going in there.
So yeah, that was an
Yes,
amazing tour.
Starboy, you did see your
Yes,
statue.
you did.
It's part of Zero the Hutt's priceless art collection in his apartment.
So that was incredible. Thank you so much for actually creating that and sharing that video, but also
Oh, well,
letting us.
thanks for putting me on this side of it. Like rather than me having to host or just do music over it, it was actually nice to explain what's going on and
And that was the best part. That was the treat, was being able to pick your brain on with what you were thinking about and what was going through your mind when you were creating the different areas. So that was amazing, and we do appreciate that. Now, because we are like a little, I guess, actually we still got some time. So what I kind of like to do is maybe go into our other segment, and because you're here, Radtoy, you can actually talk about some of the stuff that you sent us. And
Oh,
now it's time for greeblies. Greeblies. Oh, my precious.
Oh, yes, anything can be a greebly.
there's that aquatic pipe weasel or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here with Radtoyz and some other awesome submissions that we got, and we're gonna start off with yours, and you can let us know some of what you went into with the Greeblies. Now we did see some of it when we were going through that tour,
Yeah.
so you could touch on some of the details here. So here's a couple of the pictures, and so that picture on the left where those guys are standing on that platform, what is that? Like, what did
Okay,
you make
so
it out of?
that is a part of they used to sell them in dollar stores. You can find them at thrift quite a bit. But those
Mhm.
are either cupboard or garage cabinet organizers. So
Oh,
if you had a
cool.
bunch of boxes of nails, you would pile them up on there and you
Right.
could build it into a thing. But I've got a whole bunch of them and they make awesome sci-fi catwalks.
They do. Looks like grading.
Yeah, so the guys
Awesome.
jump down there and get loaded up in their little walkers and off they go kind of thing. But and you can and the legs are actually attached with screws, not
Right.
welds, so you can unscrew them real easily and get a
Oh,
bunch
okay.
and build like a catwalk. And then if you
Nice.
flip it around, you would have like a little lip on the side too, if you wanted to have something like with a lip or not. You know what I mean?
And I'm guessing you
Mhm.
could probably put them sideways if you wanted to make them like either like a fencing or
Oh,
a
absolutely. Yeah,
wall or something of that nature as well.
yeah,
And
definitely.
then on the right here, you had actually mentioned it when we were going through the tour, is that those are bottled
Yeah.
water
So
bottles.
when I was doing, yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say. It's water bottles.
so I was doing a bit of I have some older in the other part of the house. I have some copper plumbing, so I was doing a bit of plumbing with that, some propane and stuff. So
Right.
when it was empty, I kind of looked at it and I was like, "This looks like an actual fuel tank." And I haven't done a
Nice.
great job of putting the paper on there yet. So I
Mhm.
threw the Zilla Gamma fuel, and then the pipes are just sprues out of model kits.
Oh, okay.
The very bottom is a battery out of a laptop.
Nice.
I bought, and it was heavy, so it would like keep it from falling over, right? And then
Cool.
that panel is from the weather
So,
dome.
and it doesn't lie then. It's a biohazard. So yeah, very well.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. Fire hazard. And
So there's that hazard sign there.
the control there is from the 25th anniversary weather dominator.
I was about to say that looked familiar. Actually, I have 2 of those now, so I may have to borrow that idea. And that's why we do that, guys. That's why we have these greeblies to give you guys inspiration. And obviously, there's a lot of inspiration going on in these pictures. Awesome stuff, man. Let's move on to what else you sent us here. So on the left, what are we looking at here?
So that little turbine is actually from a Lego set. So that's the jet turbine engine. The thing on the right is from a windshield wiper.
Oh, okay.
And then the other like little greeblies are just like little pipe clamps, and there's a 3D printed one in there. But yeah, it's all just weird, broken windshield wipers and like just automotive bits and bobs.
And that's the thing, just slap on some paint, some little bit of weathering, and you wouldn't even know that's what you're looking at.
Well,
That's
and I
the
sent
beauty about it.
So I got a bin of this stuff. So in Lord of Thane, that's what was in that bag. I just reached my hand in a couple times and threw a bunch of crap in a bag for Lord of Thane and shipped it off to him. But it was just weird little pipe ends and like just random stuff. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I said when I first talked to him, I was like, oh, he sent me a bag of trash. But that's exactly
basically.
But cool trash. So yeah, I love it. I already used 2 parts from it actually.
And that's the thing about all of us world builders is that we don't look at that stuff as trash. It just looks like stuff that we can just build with, and that's the best part about it. And on the right hand side, what did you have here? That's a pretty cool looking building.
Yeah, so I wanted a place for this is where like so this is Greeble City inside, but so the outside that's part of an old probe droid that's on there and like some other stuff.
Okay.
What I did to make his shop junky is just keep reaching into that bin of Greebles and pushing them in there so I can make it like I'm gonna put way more in there. Like it's gonna be like
nice
filled with junk, right? So but yeah, he's making a deal there with Vizago for some junk, but no, it's just like you don't have to put the Greeblies on something. You can just make
piles in. Yeah, pile them up and make a junk pile. That's awesome. So here we have what do we have here? Oh, we have Lord of Thane here now. So here's your stuff. You could tell us about your stuff now. So what are these here? What do you make out of those?
Yeah, so my my theme for this week also was bottles. So as we saw before in Red's build, and these orange translucent ones, they are some of my favorite bottles. They're like, I think, yeah, they like something my wife puts in her hair. So she needs them. Like I get one every 2 months or something like that. And I used them for all kinds of stuff. So I used it for my Oatmead Water Corporation truck, like for the water tanks on the back of that, as on this slide.
You know what I thought those were? I actually thought those were water bottles when I first saw them. I just thought they were water bottles, but it's those.
I'll be honest though. At first, I thought it was hand cream. We were gonna have to leave the room.
No,
it's a whole lot of hand cream, man.
It's like these, and then it's the caps from orange juice to top them off.
The simply juice lids. Nice.
Yeah.
There's so many uses for those lids.
Yeah, I also use them in my. If you have the other slide, I don't know. Yeah, in my completely. This is also completely trash built. My cloning lab.
Nice.
And it's like it's just in the background. There's like a tube where a snoke would be floating around.
Right.
And it's basically the same stuff. It's like another one of those orange juice caps, and there's also one on top.
And those containers where the heads are floating, those are like are those for like contact lenses?
Yeah. Also, I also get them from my wife. Also, they come with the liquid she buys for keeping them in.
Oh, okay.
She always gets one of these for free, and she uses another cup to keep them in. So I always get them, and I have a whole bunch of those.
I remember when this is like the second thing of yours that I saw. The first one was your water plant, And then this was the second thing. I'm like, I'm copying this idea when I saw that. But then I was like, oh wait, I don't have those bottles.
Speaking of copying them, I finally found a use for my what's that Snoke figure. So I don't have Snoke in my setup. I saw him like he was standing in the bar one day, and I was like, oh, he's gross looking. So I literally picked them up and just chucked them across the rim. And
Right.
my son calls that figure sick grandpa.
I have a
Kind of looks
I-
like a sick grandpa with the
I
gold.
have a setup of him only in his bathrobe. You know, he looks like he's wearing a bathrobe and
Totally, yeah.
and
Yep.
with all the ladies I had at that time, and I made him like pose like Hugh Hefner with all his playmates, and I think that's so fitting.
Yep. Now off with his head. It's floating in a jar.
Yeah.
So here's
Oh, okay.
what are
And so
those
this
things?
This is another bottle. I don't know if you know them or ever had them, but those were huge when I was like 5, 6. You got them everywhere. They're little plastic bottles. They have a twisting. There's like a little piece up on top that you twist off
Right.
to drink it, and you
Oh
can't
yeah, I
close
remember
it again.
those.
And it's incredibly sweet, incredibly artificial, and you couldn't buy it for I think 30 years. And with
Right.
some retro wave that came through, they restarted the brand, and now you can get them again. And I do love the shape of these, and I used them for the thrusters. For here, this is the Scylla spear transport that
All
I made
right.
when Josh sent me the American driver and the beer kegs. So
I
this,
remember that. Yeah.
yeah. So these are
Awesome
just
stuff.
like the Razor Crest like thrusters to the left and right. I use.
Really cool. Awesome. So here we have Mr. Fat Red Foo. And actually he sent us something where you wouldn't always think about buying kitty toys, but you can use them as greeblies. So that container where that holds the dishes in, he actually used that in a current build that he has going on right now. So if you go and check him out on Instagram, you're going to see some of the awesome custom work that he's been working on, both figures as well as this building that he's working on. And these are the different parts that he used. Now, this particular kitchen set comes with, it actually has a little pump. So you can actually pump the water. So if you wanted to use that little feature, you can even use it for that as well. But the main thing that he uses from, or at least from what I noticed, was the dish rack thing. I don't know if you guys can spot it, but on the left-hand
that's
side
cool.
of that image, he used it like a grate for the window, which is pretty cool. So a lot of this is greebly. Some of them is like kit bashing. Great job on this. He actually has this other part that he was building that I think it all lights up and everything as well. But yeah, he's doing some awesome work. You guys need to go check him out on Instagram.
He's
But
here in
now-
the chat, and
I only have
he's
one
saying
issue.
this thing is from Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, yes, I remember he did mention that. I forgot to mention, so thanks for mentioning that.
So how's he going to do his dishes now? Like if he,
Oh well, he's in trouble now. Maybe he just got a dishwasher, and that's why he's
paper
actually
plate,
using that. Or paper plates, yeah.
do your part for the environment, man.
And then next up we have Mr. Fatback Station. Now he sent us something in regards to coffee, different coffee, instant coffee greeblies that he uses. So at the top of the packaging, that little twist tie thing, you can use that in different bills. And so I've actually seen people use that on the inside of a door frame. Because on Star Wars, just inside the doorway, they have like those different grooves inside the doorway, like on the whole frame. You could use it for that if you have a few of those.
Well,
And
that's
then inside, sorry, go ahead. What's that?
Oh, I just like, are you sure it wasn't full of meth? Like, look at the eyes on that.
I don't want to speculate anything. He told me coffee, so I'm sticking with that.
Full of crack.
But then also the puck that's inside, that the coffee puck thing, he uses that as part of his build. So at that little circular thing at the top, that's part of that, as well as on the next build.
If you have any of those capsule coffee machines, check the capsule. There's various different builds, and some of them have really nice greeblies on them.
Exactly.
That's a great point. Yeah.
and he used it on this build as well, so you could see them circled on that particular section. So
Yeah, I'm
awesome
jealous.
stuff.
Is Eddie in the chat? I'm so jealous of Eddie. He got that building. He off
I
the
know
bat.
that's a really cool one. And so
Yeah, I
here's
love
mine.
Yeah.
So I actually, so these, as a diabetic, I actually have to take insulin, and they come in these capsules, and or these vials rather. And there's so many greeblies just within the vials. The vials themselves, because of the size, I'll show you in the next picture. You'll see the scaling of them. So as you can
Cool.
see, they make like really good, canisters for. If you paint them, it could be like metal canisters. If you leave them like
Can you
glass ones, you can just
exactly?
have them as glass.
Can you get the writing on them off easily? Is it
I
just a
haven't
sticker?
tried, but I mean, I think it is just a sticker. Actually, no, I have pulled it off, and it is just a sticker.
That's
And so you
cool.
just put it in soapy water for like maybe about 15
Yeah.
minutes or so, and then it just peels right off. And it's actually
Because
the
then it's
type of
done.
adhesive that it uses. It doesn't really leave a film, so it's actually really cool. And then the top of them, as you saw in that last picture, in that right hand picture, you could see what it looks like with the top off. It kind of has that little gold tip at the end of it. And then the tops of them you can use as greeblies as well, which is what you're seeing in the left-hand picture.
That's
Paint
really cool.
those, and they just look really cool. They could be like little end caps for your wiring and stuff like that. And then,
I like the details in those caps too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is you could recreate Devo in your station and use those for hats.
Whip it good. Yeah, why not, man? Perfect. That should be our theme song for our show. Whip it. So yes, the other thing I did was take apart lighters. So
Yeah.
the light at top of the lighter has so many greeblies. As you can see in that right hand picture, the top part actually has two springs. It has the little flint. It also has the little nozzle where the fuel comes out.
Oh,
Actually, you can actually use those. So here's my jaw
Yeah,
was
I love
holding
that picture. That's
the little
awesome. I did-
greeblies. And then in the next picture, she's actually holding those nozzles because they actually kind of look like lightsaber hilts.
they do actually. They very much do. That's
Especially the fact that it has the hole in it. It's like, oh yeah, this totally looks like a lightsaber hilt. So yeah, you have all different things you can just use out of that particular thing. But I really like you said, Angus. I love the using those greeblies and having them
And it's a
as this extra parts.
nice tip from Better Ray, Bob. When you want to make those glass tubes look like they have liquid fluids in them, you can just use colored Sharpie markers to paint.
Yeah,
paint
exactly.
glass
And just
in it.
paint you can either paint it on the outside or within them because there's like a plunger that pushes the rubber part all the way in.
Okay,
You could actually even fill it up with a liquid and just cap it off at the bottom of it.
that would
So
be cool.
pretty cool. And I believe that's it. Yeah, those are all the greeblies for this week. So thank you to
Yeah.
everyone who submitted greeblies. So,
Yeah, you're right. Legal work there.
so that was
So
awesome.
Java took all the lighters that went missing over the years.
That's where my
Now-
lighter goes. A little Jawa.
Why not, right? So, but I was going to go into what we're working on, but because nobody really submitted any pictures, we don't really have to go into that. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Radtoyz for coming on the show this week. It was a pleasure having you on. It was awesome to have that exclusive tour. Couldn't get that anywhere else, people. So we're glad that you guys were able to see that live. That was a whole lot of fun. Be sure to check out Radtoyz Galaxy on the WMC this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then he has a special presentation with the British Invasion on Saturday. What time is that at on Saturday?
That is actually, don't let it throw you off. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm on an hour earlier than WMC normally is.
Okay.
But I want to take it easy on the guys in Britain because
It's midnight for them still.
Yeah. So it'll be midnight for them. So I pushed it back as far as I could. But
Wow.
yeah, I want to definitely thank everybody that supports the world building community out there. Thank you guys
Awesome.
for having me on the show. I appreciate you guys.
It was a pleasure,
It's
man.
your show. I love what you're doing over here.
And we love what you're doing every week too.
Aw, well, shucks, buddy. Yeah, definitely looking forward to going filming the documentary in the States. With,
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
that'll be really fun. I'll have to call him by his real name, which will be weird and public because I won't be like, "Hey,
Hey,
pirates!"
pirates. we
What?
call you, hey, Rad. But then again, Rad actually sounds like a name. But if I say, hey,
Yeah,
Radtoyz,
It does sound like a road movie title. So Red and Pirates, you know.
Yeah, there you
Rad
go.
and Pirate. Yeah, we both have Galaxy in our name, so that works out.
Yeah, my real name is Rad because my parents were surfers in the 1970s in
Oh,
Oh,
California.
cool.
cool. That's
Oh, it's
cool,
real.
Rad.
I wish my name was Rad. That's way more exciting than
Well, you can always legally
my
change
human
it.
name. But no, I want to thank everybody, especially for supporting the community, coming out to all our shows all the time,
Yeah, we really
buying the
do
merch,
appreciate that.
submitting everything we asked you guys for. Like, yeah, this is a great community, and yeah, 99% of it is very amazing. So yeah.
And with that said, actually, one thing before we head out is that next Monday is your deadline to submit your custom sci-fi figures. So again, you have up to a maximum of 10 pictures and or a 1-minute video you can send along with your custom figures. And throughout the week, I'll probably show off. Actually, if you just go and check out my Instagram, you check out any of our Instagrams, you'll see that we have our own custom figures that we've posted there. So go and check those out, as well as anyone that you've seen this on this episode that you've seen their name. Go and check them out and show them some support on Instagram. They would appreciate it, and we would appreciate it if you guys would show some support as well. And in the description, you'll find links to reaching Radtoyz Galaxy's socials, as well as our stores. All of our stores are there, as well as the listing of everyone who does a show throughout the week. You can follow them by click on the links that are there.
Oh,
And then, sorry, you had something to say? Oh,
no, that's
WMC. Don't forget that's on
randomly
this
showing off
Friday.
the beautiful shirt I was wearing.
Yeah, I was showing off this fine Pirates of the Galaxy merchandise so you guys can.
So we would greatly appreciate if you get our merch
Yes,
because
it
it
does
supports
count
the
as custom
channel.
sci-fi, but not as a custom sci-fi figure.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can show that off probably maybe in our next month's contest, maybe, or
So
maybe
yeah,
not.
we'll
Let's see.
we'll talk about that next Wednesday. We'll talk about what the next challenge is, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love it because it's something that I really love. It's actually something that Radtoyz really loves, so maybe he'll participate as well. So until the next stream, take care, pirates.
Keep on building.